I'm Sarah Gore, and this is Open House NYC. Right now, I'm coming to you from 101 East 63rd Street, which is perhaps best known as the former home of iconic American fashion designer Halston. His decadent star-studded parties were among the city's most envied invites. And as you check out this living space, it's easy to see why. We are talking over 30-foot ceilings, a sunken living room, fireplace, skylight, and even outdoor spaces. Guests would stand on the multi-level balcony and watch all the action swirl below. If these walls could talk, indeed. Now, this townhouse gem is approximately 7,500 square feet spread over 4 floors. Let's get started with a look inside the apartment of prolific Tony Award-winning Broadway set designer Beowulf Boritt. Boritt used all the tricks of his trade to ensure this pre-war home packed the biggest design punch, including custom pieces and theatrical details that blend beautifully with the existing architecture. It's also filled with furnishings handed down through the generations, giving the place a warm yet suitably dramatic air. Take a look.
Hi, I'm Beowulf.
And I'm Mimi.
And this is our dog Hermione. Welcome to our small creative space on the Upper East Side. Come on in. As a Broadway set designer,
And as an actor,
we wanted to find a comfortable home for ourselves in Manhattan, and we found it here on the East Side. We looked all over Manhattan for apartments and at buildings of all different eras, but we really fell in love with the pre-war stateliness and solidity of this building and this neighborhood. This space it's a great place to come home and relax and recharge and get ready for the day ahead.
I have to go get ready for an audition, so I'm going to let my husband show you around.
I used to think a foyer was a waste of space, but it turns out it's a great place to put up Broadway show posters. This one is for a play called Act One that I won a Tony Award for a couple years ago for the set design. When you get nominated for a Tony, you get a little lapel pin, and I put them into the poster afterwards, so I've got a small collection of those growing. This archway wasn't here when we first moved in, it was just a simple square doorway. I put the arch in because I wanted something a little grander and frankly a little more beautiful. I thought the archway would also be the perfect way to sort of invite people into the apartment. Follow me. Here we are in the living room. This is really what we first fell in love with when we walked into the apartment. It's 17 feet by 21 feet, which by New York standards is fairly big. This room has a long exterior wall with a southern exposure, which I really fell in love with. This great big bookshelf with the library ladder was part of the apartment when we moved in. As you can see, the shelves are full, floor to ceiling. It houses my design research library and also a lot of play scripts. Directly in front of the bookshelf is this custom-made marble cafe table. I always wanted a marble cafe table, and I couldn't find one that I liked, and then I finally realized, as a set designer, I know how to make one. I just love the original 1924 black marble fireplace, and it's the perfect place for a Tony Award. I work in theaters all over the world, but the actual design happens in my studio right back here. Come on, I'll show you. Just like the living room, I love this studio because of the southern exposure. This is where I spend most of my time. Anything from researching a play to figuring it out to doing the technical drawings, it all happens in here. These are a bunch of current projects. This is a musical of The Honeymooners that's happening soon. This is Come From Away, which is running on Broadway right now. This is a play called All the Way about Lyndon Johnson. This is actually the company set for Prince of Broadway that's based on Boris Aronson's original design. This is a sign from Bronx Tale, which is running on Broadway right now. And this is a trophy from the original 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee that played on Broadway about 10 years ago. But my favorite and most unique souvenir is this outlet from Hand to God. While the play was going, an audience member actually climbed up on stage and tried to plug in his cell phone to recharge it. This is sort of my trophy wall with some of the exciting people I've gotten to work with. I've got Mel Brooks up there and Robert De Niro, Stephen Sondheim and James Lapine. Whenever I'm feeling really stuck on a project and don't know what I'm doing, I can look at this and it reminds me that I probably do know what I'm doing. I wanted our bedroom to feel calm and tranquil. To achieve that, we decorated with chinoiserie. I wanted this silk tapestry to be the focal point of the room. My great-uncle, who was in the Navy, brought it back from nationalist China in the 1930s. To complement the tapestry, Mimi found this great bedspread in golds and slates. I wanted some custom hardware to tie in with the rest of the room. I couldn't find these here, so I ordered them from China. They're a Chinese symbol for good luck. finally, you have to take advantage of every little nook and cranny in a New York apartment, so I put in these shoe cabinets for Mimi. A big part of my job as a set designer is to create a space that tells you about the characters who live there, so I hope this apartment tells you a little bit about Mimi and me. Thanks for joining us!